Hello, international audience, international leaders. Welcome here once again. I am joining from Dhaka, Bangladesh, your host of the international show. That is every day, regularly, we are hosting this show on contemporary critical points, on contemporary international issues are discussed here, and we try to find solution from connecting different countries all together on this global platform. So I am very much honored to host this show. Today is 23rd May 2021, Dhaka time 10:41 p.m. at right this moment. I have very much influential personality, very much international personality, very learned, very much glorified personality, Mr. Ronit Shah, advocate from India, Gujarat, his local area. He has joined us from Gujarat, India. I'm welcoming you, sir, our dearest advocate, Ronit Shah. Thanks for joining us on live session. And here I have another international person, Mr. Sorin from Romania. He is representing Valex Association Romanian NGO, my dearest colleague, my dearest friend. And I would like to say all of our international viewers that today's point is based on four very much important contemporary critical issues. That is, we need to create job. As you know, due to the pandemic situation, due to the international crisis of this very moment, we have lost our jobs from different countries, from different parts of the world. So we want to try to get the solution of employment, number one. Second is, we want to help people, we want to develop social economic situation. So we want to develop our each family on the basis of socio-economic point of view. Number second. Third point is, we need to feed our poor children, our street children. Those are starving right at this moment. Those do not have food on their table. We like to help to feed those children. We like to help to feed those poor people. And then come another point, legal service to the victims. And if our time permits, we will also discuss on youth development issue, as our sir advocate Ronit Shah is already working on this very point of youth development from India, from Gujarat. So I would like to know your introduction, your work experience in brief. So I am going to connect our dearest advocate Ronit Shah from Gujarat, India. Please give your introduction on our international show. Then I will go to Sorin of Romania for his introduction. Then we will go for the global solution points. Can you please explain your work experience and your introduction, dearest our advocate Ronit Shah, welcoming you on this international platform. How are you today, Mr. Ronit?
Thank you very much for, first of all, thank you very much to the ma'am for inviting me. Uh, just back to the hours, I don't know you who are, but now I'm very grateful to meet you and thank you very much. And thank you very much, Sorin sir, for joining me and listening me very well. Now, this is Advocate Ronit Shah. I'm doing a study as well as a business. So we have to learn every day in the field of business or in the field of education. I have done my MBA, BCom, LLB, LLM, and now I'm doing PhD on Handloom Ministry of Kutch region. Kutch is my locality. There is a district where I belongs to. And in the India or in the world, Kutchi handloom is very famous. So every great personality who comes to the Kutch region, it's generally known as a white run. This the white run is our famous place. Well, I am doing written an article on youth management and youth mindset. I have to change what I am felt in my experience, while the people what I am doing, and judgment and opinion of people, there is affect a lot to the society, to the youth. And today, when I am talking about the today's scenario, youth is not able to get depressed and tension. They all the time 60 percentage, I have got research to 60 percentage youth is depressed or in a tension or anxiety, while we are talking about the
How many of them, sir?
COVID-19.
What? How about their
16
percentage?
percentage, 60 percentage,
60.
60%. Yes, yes, yes. This is the digit of COVID-19 to this time, because of unemployment, because of the education is settled down, because of financial
Okay.
problem, because of there is no work. So all the youth is very
Right.
depressed, and there is a lot of suicide because of that reasons. And 14 percentage of the alcohol is increased because of these situations. When I'm
Oh my
doing a research on
goodness.
that, I'm getting this digit, and I'm supposed to surprised that getting for the digit in the globally, because of this COVID-19. All the countries are locked down till 2 days. In our village, I'm talking about our village. This 2 or 3 days, the lockdown is released now. Till today, there is a certain type of lockdown or a partially lockdown in this in our country, and some of the state is fully locked down till today. So you can imagine
Right.
that
Right.
if essential things are open, rather than this, all the activities and all the work is fully locked down. Then how
Okay.
will what is the need of, what is the importance of your degree? I am double master graduate, but still I know that the degree is just a paper. I feel
Right.
that I feel that these situations and come up with, if you have something talent, you are a hero. But with the degree, you can't able to get a very well job which you deserve. So this is basically a big problem in India, or I don't know, but most of the Asian countries, there is certain type of problem are there.
Right.
Many youngsters are lost their jobs because of COVID-19, and they are getting depressed
Right.
very much. And I generally felt that in this situation, society throw the stone towards them. This is doing nothing. This person is workless. We need to understand the point of, we need to understood what the society is think, and all the society's people has to understand that what we need to serve to the youth, and what we need, if we are capable, we have to give something to the society. From our freedom fighters to great personality, I always learned that we are here for given something, and
Right.
if we given to our nations, automatically
Mhm.
development are there. So, a creation of
Right.
employment. First topic is that. What is the main problem? The lots of companies are not recruiting the perfect place, or not using their perfect degrees, or they are MBAs, but they are doing a job of sales and opening the accounts. So, what is the meaning of MBA?
Right.
If I am MBA, I'm getting a job of front
Right.
desk officer and opening account or getting a loan, gold loan. So what is the need of a do to MBA? And what, why are we wasting of time to do MBA? So this
Right. Right.
the education system has to change. If you are doing a particular course, you have to give a such a job like that. That is responsibilities on the government, not us. I dreamed to do
Yes.
MBA.
Okay.
After MBA, I'm not getting a proper job. I'm joining a business. If you have a business, then it's very well. And in the education, we have 15 marks of question how to, what is the RTGS and NAFT. You all know very well what is the RTGS and NAFT. Whatever. But I don't know how to do RTGS and MBA after the
Right.
completion of MBA. When I'm joining the business,
Right.
at that time I'm getting what is the RTGS and NEFT and how to do it, and what is the information getting from the other side's accounts detail. So after 15 marks or 20 marks question, we wrote every day 4 5 times the question of RTGS and NEFT. Still we don't know how to do RTGS in the practical way. Then what is the need of education? So this is, so all the degrees we always read and wrote, but in the practical form we can't able to stress. So we have to learn first spiritually things and mentally preparation to in which, whatever conditions you are, you have to strong with mentally. So these have to understand all the
Mentally.
all.
Okay.
Yes, mentally preparation and mental health is very important, and all the things is comes from the mental first. I listen some story others in America. There is a little bit of medicines to remove the cancer in the whole media. Some of the people
Okay.
completely resolve their cancer and getting very much strong. Okay, after some of days, the media says this medical is not work for the cancer. At that time, who people are getting strong and remove the cancer, they are repeatedly getting the cancer and die. So this is how the mental health is works. So I generally
Okay.
write
Okay.
an article for newspaper Kashmitra and our one magazine Kash Gujri, who is from Ahmedabad in Gujarat, India. So I generally wrote an article for the mental of health and the society's viewpoint. What we need to think. You have to think. You have to do. Other things is not necessary for your success. So I generally wrote an article on these topics. Second thing, of financial uplifting
Okay.
of each family. While we are studying, we are only focusing on study. But we are doing a BCom, still we are focusing on study. That is how much relevance to the things. We have to do a job to support our family. We have to do something. We generally the friends says that I want to do a CA. We will join the CA. That is not good. That is not good, and this is scenario I personally follow. I personally seen many of the people who follow blindly of their friends. I want to be an actor. I want to be an actor in 2008 and 10, 2008 and 2010, but some of the conditions are not favorable for me. So I am not joining. You are talking about the Pune, the great institute of Anupam Kher, the acting and drama, but I'm not joining. So I request to you that in the society that person is financial very good, they have to come up for the youngsters and do and support with financially, because of there is a lots of person who is not able to fulfill their dreams because of financial burden. So those who are very well in the finance, we have to help them very well. So this is what the society can do. But the society, what the actual do is thrown the stone towards the youth, thrown the negativity towards the youth, and all the things, all the sitting on the otlas of the house and talking about some of the sons. So I generally regret these things and don't expect these things from the society. The next is feed of street childrens. So this topic is very much emotional, because why we need to street children? Actual, this is the responsibility is us or the government. We are emotions. We are here to help each other. We definitely do this. But suppose government should tax 1,000 crore and 2,000 crores package. Before this, we have to concentrate on no one families get the food at the evening time. This is, there is a lots of trust doing this type of amazing activity. And salute that all the trust who is feeding the childrens, feeding the animals. I am saluting this, and I am also joining that trust. And I opened the, very soon I opened my own trust to doing some of the social activity like this, for the children who is not going to school. And I am doing a business, and lots of children comes to me for 1 rupee or 2 rupees. I always ask it, what are you doing? They are saying that I'm not going to school because my mom and father is not able to give us, or the document is not proper. They don't have Aadhaar card in the India. I'm talking about the India. So not the sufficient documents to going to school. So I generally refuse. I generally solve that problem many children's, because of the documents. Because of this silly documents, we are not able to go getting education. So that is a shameful for us. So in the other things, government of India providing such a scholarship, who is not, who is from families, backyard family, financial background. So generally I make a video on this, how you are getting the scholarship, what is the criteria, what is the age, and all the things. I make a video on some of the this informative topics. So all the people who is not uh, able to financial background, or finance, I dream that no one student not getting the education because of money. This is my dream. All the people have to, in India, Indian constitution, right to education are there. Our right is to getting the education. But some of the schools charging a very much, while you are going to a London and getting the 7-star hotel. They are treat like the student like that. This is our education. While we are talking about the Indian culture, the Rusi given a lots of education of the personal, your talent wise, your Sanskriti, your culture and civilization, all the types of education Rusi munis give to the India in ancient time. So we have to learn. Education is not just because just read the books and given the exam and you are getting the pass. But generally we have to create a talent. If you are develop and polishing the talent, then after some of the age, they are getting the right job which they want to do. Otherwise, what job they getting, they are doing. This is the little bit things, little difference. What you dream and what you get, and what you get, what we are doing. So this is not to fulfill your dreams. So in the education system, we have to change this type of scenario. The next is I'm talking about little bit talking about street children. So once again, without funds we can't do anything. So we have to increase the group of member. If there is a donor or not, that we are a member of that group, come up with the money of personal and doing a good activity. So already if you are doing a good, people will join you. That is my personal experience. If you are doing a good activity in the society, people are comes to you and give a sufficient fund. But you have to start something good for the society. So we can do is, we can do this activity with the group of people increases. There are loads, but there is a little bit a problem are there. If you are, if you joining this group for the post and positions, then your group may not running long. So we are here, we have to understand that what we are actually, what we are doing actually. So we have to understand that what we need to do and what our scenario is this. The next is legal aid to the victim. Okay,
Yes.
that is my my main topic. And education is I really much like. That's why I'm doing a study after this degree. So legal aid, actually, what is our I'm talking about the Indian constitution. None of the people, most of the people I'm talking about, they don't know what is our right and what is our responsibility. None of the
Dearest
people.
sir, our Ronitcha, just
Yes,
hold for a moment. I will request our Sorin from Romania to discuss on previous topics, and I will just after that coming to you. Okay? Please,
yes,
please be with us. Sorin, can you hear me from Romania?
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
so
one,
as you
one.
can see, he is very much learned, and from his learning point of view, from his real experience point of view, I'm sorry that Sorin's line got disconnected, but maybe he will enter to this show again, maybe. So I will again reconnect him. I'm sorry. Oh, Sorin has come already. Okay. Yes,
Sorry,
Sorin, can you hear
sorry,
me?
yes, sorry, was a signal problem
No problem.
with my phone. First of all, I want to introduce myself. Since my name is Belgiu Sorin Gabriel, I'm 46 years old. From Ploiești, Romania. It's a city with around 250 citizens. So no, 20, 20,000 citizens, and we here we have also problems, same problems with you in India, even with some different aspects. So to our NGO, with based is named Valex Association, and is based 5 years ago, was created 5 years ago. Until now, we raised up to 600 children, registered volunteer. They all are volunteers, and around 250 adults. Here it's our city. It's an industrial city with many refineries, and the problem of employment now it's also difficult, not only by COVID, but because the industry of this industry was affected by world economy. It's not only local. Few years ago, our city was one of the powerful in our country, but now due to less force of the economy, we are down, and from 5 refineries now is working only 1. So the problem of the creation of employment is also a problem for local authorities, and migration, because in our constitution also is granted the right of the work to the work, and based on this, the state try to implement some programs, social programs, to help the people without employment, not only due to COVID, but also before, with region affected by some kind of natural causes or economic causes. Creation of employment is not easy, not even for younger, not important. It's younger or older. I guess it's the same. If you are younger, you need to have experience. If you are too old, you are too old. So it's a difficult problem.
Right. Okay.
We try to balance this, and the state try to balance this problem. We to our NGO, we try to help the kids who wants to be employed, to find them some jobs for them, working with local companies or local authorities, with recruitment companies. We try to find them jobs, even they are younger. Some are working during the summer to give some experience when they are free to school. And we do our best to solve this problem because it's not easy um, to give a chance to a child at beginning of the life who wants to create a family or something like this, to be strong in his confidence, to offer the confidence for a younger, even it's a student or who abandoned the school, because abandon of the school is another cause of the problem. As you said, Mr. Ronnie-san, education is also a point very important, who is basically also for education, for employment. Sorry, for employment. Of course, everybody wants to have a lot of money and a high standard of life. Of course, everybody wants to do it, but only few will reach this with or without education. Some are lucky without education. Some needs to work hard for reach at least a medium life. But we do our best as social activists. We try to help each other as much we can. Of course, for the second topic, financial upliftment of each families, that is somehow related with employment. Also, the state has the tools to do it, but not all the time is possible or implemented. Yes, we have here some political parties. Usually, the left wings of the parties implement social programs. The right wing parties are oriented are towards to economy based to capitalism. So we need to create a way between two of them to be a fair society and a better society, or to help more and better the person with this problem. It's not easy because to sustain financially, not even a family, but a lot of family request a lot of money, request a big investment. So sometimes the state needs to make loans, big loans to sustain unemployment or the sustain of the families. In Constitution also is granted the right to have a family, the right to life, but it's not easy to do it for each family. The civil society tries to help the state with this problem. Feeding of the street for children is also related with this financial upliftment of each family, because some of them children abandon the school and they are going to the street. Into the street, they are in jeopardy to be taken by the networks of kidnappers or blackmailers. They're in jeopardy for their lives. Some people give them some help with money or some food when they see them into the street, but it's not the whole situation, not the whole solve of the situation, because maybe today you can give some food to a children, but you don't know if he has a place where to sleep. Just the feeding is a part of the solution or of the problem. The other part is where he really lives, and in the company of who, what entourage he has that kid, or even it's a boy or girl. Feeding of the street.
Okay.
I don't know if it's possible to help them too much. Yes, of course, it's a daily problem, but not a substantial help. They must be integrated somewhere with a job or with a place to stay, not only to sustain with some food.
Okay. So sorry,
Okay,
at this
so
point, I
the
would
fourth
like to.
topic, legal aid to the victims. Also,
Yeah.
to our NGO, we have this problem, and we have cases. We have victims. We are representing them for free in court in case of trouble, because
Okay.
we know that they have this issue, and we try to help them. Of course, all problems are related. A person not have in most cases, a person not have only one problem. They are related. The creation of employment and financial uplifted, in my point of view, they are very much related. And in European Union, we have the right to travel and to work more easy than before. Unfortunately,
Okay.
that caused some abandons of the families of the children, because the parents go to Western Europe to work, and the kids remains at home, and it's difficult to sustain, because it's one unbalance. They are outside, and the state must to survey the children remains home. It's not easy, and to feed them if they are so sad and go to the street because they not have the parents at home. Most of the kids are from families that are separated, and they have traumas, and we need to work with this. We have psychologists to our NGO who works with them to help them mentally and physically to overcome this problem, to pass and to survive to this problem. So it's not easy. But even the societies are different. The problem is almost the same.
Okay.
India
So
is a
sorry.
very big country. It's almost a continent.
Okay.
So
Right.
so of
Right,
course the
sorry.
problem is bigger than a smaller country. It's more bigger and more difficult to do it. I'm convinced about this. But also in European Union, we confront with this immigration, and it's not easy to support all. The civil society has its role, but not all cannot support and cannot do it everything. We do our best, but unfortunately some of the person remains outside the society, or the limit of the society, and this causes them trauma, and some of them kill themselves. They commit suicide, unfortunately, because they don't have jobs, they don't have money, they don't have families, they are abandoned, and so on. Unfortunately, they become number in statistics sometimes. We can give some solutions, but the solution itself must be applied by upper forces, by more stronger forces. Here we can be just united to express our point of view to others, and try to do our best to solve the problem, to apply. But not all depends the civil society.
Okay. So, Sorin, at this point, I'm going to connect our dearest learned advocate, Mr. Ronit Shah. So, I want to ask Mr. Ronit Shah to highlight the points that, as you know, uh, Mr. Ronit Shah, can you please unmute your microphone? The thing is, I want to know the legal aid service of victims, why they are facing trouble to get legal aid service, number one. And number two, that as you work for youth development, for your youth development project, I want to know what is the exact initiative and what is the exact solution points. Both of you, Mr. Sorin from Romania, Mr. Ronit Shah from India, Gujarat, please tell us about the solution points. I want to listen from you, Mr. Ronit Shah, the very learned advocate on our international show. Legal aid service and youth development. Crisis, present scenario, and the solution points. Please tell us.
Thank you very much, ma'am. First of all, the we can't give it to justice all the people because the population of India, we all know that it's a more than 125 crore.
Yes.
But while we are talking about the Indian Constitution, Section 12, the Legal Aid Service Authority Act 1987, we have to create a legal free education and awareness. In our area, I take the responsibility to do this type of seminars and this type of awareness. In your area,
Okay.
you will do the same. Okay. So some of the change is the initial of whole the change. So generally, I believe that we are not reach and each and everywhere, but we can solve the problem of our cities, our village, or our society where we are living. So, first of all, we have to understand the law. What is our right and what is our responsibility? A right to education, a right to live, right to express, right to speech, right to do a business. This type of rights, Indian Constitution given to the Indian citizen. But we always ready to take a rights, but we are just going no, not accepting our responsibilities. While you want a rights, first you have to fulfill your all the responsibilities of the legally or of the morally. So what we can do for legally to the victims? Generally, this service is getting the advantage those who are not financially very well. Otherwise, the greatest advocate of India, Ram Jethmalani, I make a video on that. I make a video on the whole the life of Ram Jethmalani, who is the international lawyer, who is the four-time chairman of Indian AIB, All India Bar Council. He is the member of international councils. So and they are charging a 1 rupee, or most of the 90 to 95 percentage cases are doing a free, and most of the high profile cases they are fight and won. So the that level of advocacy we don't need at initial level. What we are needing or what we want to do is the people who is not financially very well and not paying a high charge fees to the advocates, we have to fight for that, and for that we have given a awareness to the legal general rules and laws. So the general people who is not from the law department or law field or not from the law education, they are knowing the normal laws. While the police is kept your vehicle, you have to know that what charge should be on you. Generally what the scenario is, we don't know anything about the laws. Whatever they wrote, we just paying or we just call to the some of the people and release our vehicles and all the things. But when we are spiritually and morally right, we have to learn our national law and orders. So with this awareness camp, or with this awareness video and this kind of activity, we can some of the increase of awareness about the laws. So other people know that if you know the laws generally or a little bit, the other people will afraid of you. So what first of all we have to increase the awareness camp. This is very help to our victims. If you know the laws, the advocates what are doing in the internally, you don't know anything about that. What is the charge sheet and which section is on you, you don't know anything about what is the 300 IPC 300 and what is the 302? You don't know anything. Then advocate, what the advocate is doing in your chat sheet or in your files, you have to know all the information about your case. Or while we are running vehicles, you know that what is the rule and what we have to follow. But the one thing is distract from the point. But I want to share you. We know that the law. We know that suppose we learn from the school. We don't break the signals, but what we are doing actually, we are going to left, and then going over road. So we need to understand the law, and we have to follow. This is our real education. So the from the basically viewpoint, we have to learn in a practical way, and we have to add a chapter of legal aid for the society in the education in initial base. So
Okay.
this is we can do for the legal aid in for the victims. And the next topic is youth development, right?
Mhm. Okay. I want to know about the social impact on the youth development part. Can you please explain the youth development part? I want to know from you, based on your experience, based on your work activities. Please tell me, Mr. Ronit Shah.
The scenario is the scenario of youth is what the other people thinks about you. This is the matters a lot in the youth minds in today's scenario in our society. What the people say about you, what is the opinion of yours about to tell the society to you. What in one line I can say that all most of the youth will think the other people, what is the think of other people of you, what is the statement about you. But what I feel, what I believe, or what I experience, do whatever you want to do. People will salute you while you are getting some and are reaching with the hard work at some of the position. So whatever you want to do for a good to the society or good to you or in a good work, you have to do without listening to the society. I generally one title of my article is a noble of society. This is my one of the favorite article which I wrote in the newspaper. Noble of society. They are given a noble to you. You have to bet very well and bet at a six of that noble. So what I want to give to the society is that do whatever you want to do, but just do. Without doing, without trying, there is nothing. Try and try, you will succeed. If not, then again try. You will definitely succeed. And the second thing is Maharana Pratap. Maybe you listen this name, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Maybe you listen the greatest of great people. Because of this two people, we can show the temple of India. So we have to read, we have to follow the greatest of greatest people of Muhammad Pegambar Sahib. We have to read once of that biography, Mahavir Swami, Shri Krishna, all the our greatest Lord and greatest people who is come in the India and the land of India, Maharana Pratap, Prithviraj Chauhan, Bhagat Singh, Sardar Patel, who is the greatest freedom fighter of India, Digvijay Singh in the Poland. There's one statue in front of Parliament, and always one a frame with the Jesus. So we need to learn from that biography and his life. You will definitely remove your depression, tension, and all the mental problem what they are facing. Maharana Pratap is the king of Mewad. Still, he is spending a 25 years in jungle because of not given this kingdom. He is the king. Still, he spending a more than 25 years in jungle with no clothes, with no food, and we have sufficient facility. Still, we are getting depressed. So we have to learn from that greatest of the great people's biography. We have to read. We have to know about that all the life what they are facing. So we are getting motivation from that people.
Okay.
We have to learn from our spiritual books, Mahabharata, Bhagavad Gita. This is the biggest motivation book is Bhagavad Gita, and biggest motivational speaker is biggest motivation guru of the world is Shri Krishna. Stephen Cohen once said that you put all the motivational book in front of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. You are getting the whole the mirror of that book from the Bhagavad Gita. So we have to do activity with spiritually, with morally. We have to knowledge about spiritual books like Ramayana, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Kalpasutra. We have to learn from that all the things. So we are getting a stronger with mentally. We are very good
Okay.
in physically, but we have to strong with mentally from this all the activities and lives and spiritual books. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I will come again to you, Mr. Ronitcha. It was such a beautiful explanation from your end, from India. I want to add our colleague from Romania, Sorin, that what do you like to say about the solution? But before that, I want to mention Mr. Ronitcha. I will come to learn the very topic that locally and globally, if we merge together, if we build together as a combined force, how we can change the scenario, how we can create an impact on this very issue that we are discussing, the critical issue, the critical, very much contemporary problems we are facing, that unemployment, that about socio-economic crisis and poor children and the legal aid service issues. We will all learn, of course, in a combined para from you. But before that, I'm going to join my colleague, Mr. Sorin from Romania. Sorin, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, I hear you. The explanation of Mr. Ronisha was very, very good. Um, I am sure that will be very helpful, and for the rest of the viewers who
Right.
will see, we will see this video, and for their countries, for the same problem in their countries,
Right.
for sure, it's in the video. It's easy to talk, but in the reality is harder to apply it. But we will do what we can do. Of course, we can propose, we can put on paper on or send it by emails or make some demonstrations into the street to be seen by authorities and our voice to be heard until at least one solution is solved. Because as I said last night in the video, a wise man say, if you save a soul, you save a nation.
Right.
Yes. So if we'll try to help as much we can, as many we can, even if it is not so easy. And I'm skeptical because the state will listen. Not every time a state will listen, because they consider they know what they do, and they don't listen so often the civil society. But unfortunately or fortunately, sometimes we can resist, and we can do it.
Okay.
The solution, main of the part of the solution is to the state. State has the tools, basically, mainly. They have the tools. They have the regulation. They have the parliament, politician, all politicians. If they want to involve, they can do it. They can solve it if they want. But sometimes they have some advantages to not unsolve this problem. Because somewhere are some puppeteers, some master of the puppets who are not so seen, and they manage the situation, and they don't want to be solve some problems because they have advantages. But if the politics will be involved, it's a possibility to be solved at least a few problems, because they have the tools, they have the powers, they have personnel, they have laws, they have almost everything to solve, because for that is a state, right?
So Sorin, why it is not solved yet? If they have everything, if they have every tool, then why the problem is still existing? What do you think?
Because, as I said, sometimes they don't know how to manage it. Sometimes they are incompetent. It's a truth. Sometimes they are incompetent. They are nominated in high position based on politics relations, not based on education or high experience. Just are put there by friendship. And of course, they are not competent for the position to solve this kind of problem. It's one aspect. Not all the time it's available.
Mm-hmm.
Second possibility is that they don't want to solve it because they consider they have other priorities, and these are not priorities for them. The third possibility, they have advantages from not to solve this kind of problem. What we can do? We can fight. We have many fronts to be covered, so the fight is too big sometimes, but not impossible. We try to do our best. Here we discover some solutions, as I said Mr. Ronin, as I said the previous speakers and the future speakers. Of course, every head has the soul, the ideas. We can discover many solutions, perhaps, but at least 5, if they are applied, I think the life will be better. I think it's my opinion. I don't know if it's the most right as well, but it's my opinion.
But I want to know from both of you the very much important topic on solution, that if we become one, the strong voice, if we can work being united, what will be the situation? What do you think, Sorin?
The fact is sometimes they are afraid when they see the people are gathered around and they are become like one. Sometimes the politics and the states are afraid, and they react and solve some problems, being under the pressure.
That is our plan. What do you think, Sorin?
To put the state under the pressure.
Yes, inshallah. And we will, of course, do it definitely at any moment, at any cost. That is our main target and main objectives. So, Sorin, are you finished from your points of view? Are you finished your all points?
I think so. As I said, we do our best. Here we are gathered to find not only to find solutions, but also to apply them. Even the states, the countries are far away, but the solution can be solved only united. To our association, we have a motto: together we are stronger. Also, in our post, we write this: together we are stronger.
Very true. And one more thing, Sorin, I want to add with you that if one victim is isolated, if he or she is feeling depression, if he or she can join us being the united force, so don't
Yes.
you think the mental capacity will be changed, the mental awareness will be developed, his or her mental, situational and positivity will be grow more. Don't you think so, Sorin?
Yes, sometimes, or most of times, the stronger victims are coming in front and they share their experience.
Right.
And yes, to encourage the others to survive and to manage the situation, to handle.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
and we I suggest to them, to all the viewers and the victims, if among them are some victims, I invite them to join us and to share us their experience, to help others if they survive the depression or anxiety. We invite them to join us, to come together and to share, to try to solve the solution. To our NGO, we have until 2 years ago, before to start this COVID epidemic, we had legal education classes in schools and high schools, where we teach the kids about these problems. And the class was very attended. They come with very much interest to attend at these
I,
classes.
I have a good news to give you that from Yugoslavia, from the country Serbia, one of
Yes.
our international guests will be joining us very soon. This very show here.
Okay.
Okay. Okay,
Okay.
so this is our great honor that he is very much proficient in English. He is also can interpret, and he is very much involved socially, and with influential people he is very much active. So we will of course listen to another European country, that is Serbia, Yugoslavia. So now at this moment I want to hear from Mr. Ronit. Can you please unmute your microphone for that? So I want to hear from you the very issue that you understand uh, as a legal counselor, as an advocate. You understand that women basically do not share their harassment issue. In our country, 71% women do not share their sexual and abusive harassment. Okay, and for that reason the corruption, these corruption, these criminal activities of women harassment, women violence is increasing day by day, as you know. And I will hear from your part, from India, what is the current scenario and what is the solution of it. Please tell us, our dearest learned advocate Mr. Ronit Shah from India, Gujarat.
In India, the sexual harassment is a big problem. While we are talking about, especially in Bangladesh, especially in Bengal, as you all know that, the while when the government of Mamta Didi comes, there are lots of women get raped by the some of the people. What we can do for that? First, we have to take responsibility. Every girl should openly talk about their parents to the parents and dearest friend. If you do not share your problem, how can other people help you? In the most of the case, they are not sharing their problem with anyone. They just got muted their mouth and getting the mentally depression. Many of the girls who is supposed to not doing a job because of this problems. I am before 2 or 3 days. I'm thinking about one video on this topic. I started my research on my local area of Kutch. Okay, what is the real problem facing by the girls at the workplace? Lots of the girls who is facing this type of problem at the workplace. Uh, Hello, can you still
Yes,
listen me?
I can hear.
Okay. So
No
what we
problem.
need to do, is first we have to educate our girls with judo, karate. This is
Judo and
the few.
karate.
Yes, this is the basic education we have to save our girls. Save to the girls. Self-defense system always be very much strong. While you are fighting against the corona, your immunity system is very much strong. Then you can live as much as this is the very importance to learn or educate your girls the karate, because while you can protect yourself, then and only you can save or you can protect to the others. Second thing is, you have to come up and speak in the society. If you don't tell about anything to your dear one and near one to your family, then problem is always standing in front of you. You can't solve anything, you can't solve even 1%. So every girl should be learn this. If you have a eligibility for the getting the education, you have to take a education of karate. This is this lesson should be learned from the school life, school education in initial stage. I want to add it, because of
Okay.
at this time this is situation we can't imagine after 10 years what the situation are there.
Okay.
Girl should be the Shakti, Ma Jagadamba, Ma Amba. And when I'm talking about this, I have to talking about the male category. You have to think about that from your culture, who you are, what you are, and what is your family background. Have you like this type of creating a problem to the society and girls? You don't right to live if you are creating a problem to your sister, like your friend, like your mother. So I shame, personally shame on the male because of this type of activity. If girl walking in front of you, they are proud of my brother is there. I am purely safe. This type of feeling every girl should walk while at night. हिंदी में कहना चाहूंगा, तुमसे तो अच्छा कुत्ते हैं. The dog is better than you. The dog is better than the human beings of the male category. While the girls is not feeling safe in front of you, you don't right to live. I always said that, and I always salute to the girls, especially while the corona is there. Everywhere is lockdown. Every woman is very
So
much.
here I am welcoming our dearest friend on another international participant, Mr. Frederick. Can you please tell us about your own experience, your work activities, and how is your scenario in your own country, Serbia, Yugoslavia? I am welcoming you, my friend Frederick
Thank you.
from
Thank you.
Yugoslavia.
Can you repeat the question? What was the question? The employment of what?
Okay, dearest friend, Mr. Frederick from Yugoslavia, I'm first of all welcoming you our international show. Here we have another two guests from India, very learned advocate, Mr. Ronit Shah. He is also working to develop our youth development project. He is writing on many newspaper, on many journals, and he is an advocate. He is working with youth to develop the youth society. Number one. Second is Mr. Sorin is here from Romania. He is my colleague from Valex Association International NGO. from Romania, maybe close to you.
Yeah,
So
we are neighbors.
Yes, Romania is our neighbor. Serbia is our neighbor,
Yes,
and
okay,
they are our brothers in Christianity.
yes, yes. Wonderful
okay.
country.
Okay, so here I want to mention some points, dearest friend from Yugoslavia, Frederick, that we were discussing about the unemployment issue right at this moment. What is the situation from your country? We want to know that. Second, the socio-economic development for each family, how we can work together. Number three, how we can feed our street children, poor people. And number four, legal aid service to the victim. Those are facing corruption, those are facing torture, violence. How we can help those victims? Can you please explain from your country's point of view, Yugoslavia, what is the current scenario of unemployment? How we can help to victims of sexual harassment or any kind of violence? How we can feed our poor people? Can you please tell me?
Okay, well, I can try to summarize everything with only one word. It's education. Uh, People need to learn common sense more than anything else. I read a long time ago about some experiment about homeless people, and they took a few of them and gave them a lot of money, and they monitored and watched to see how they will live after all that. And most of them were back on the streets within 3 or 4 years. When the money was gone, they were back on the streets. The problem is that they got to. It was their habit. They got used to it. So, and they didn't know about anything better. Nobody taught them how you can invest money. Nobody taught them how you can use that money to gain more. So they just spent it and they were back on the streets. So the education would be the most crucial part of that, because it's not all about the money. You need to know how to spend it.
True,
And
true.
as for the unemployment, same thing goes there. I see a lot of people here in Serbia. They are complaining how you cannot find work, and basically they're just not trying hard enough. You cannot have good job without good education. You really need to know what you're doing to get that job.
Okay.
And if you don't get it here, they always blame, like, oh, somebody else got it because they have connections. No, they had the knowledge. And even you don't have to have diploma or PhD or anything, as long as at least here, as long as you know what you're doing, that's fine enough. Just please know what you're doing. And same goes for the violence, especially for the ladies, because this is something that's, I think it's safe to say, it's worldwide. So Serbia is not an exception. There is a lot of violence towards women, and I think I heard a little bit earlier my friend here from Romania talking about martial arts. That is one of the very good ideas, but also education. Please educate the men, educate the women. Common sense is something that we really lack. That you can do some stuff, but some stuff is not okay. So you really need to know where is the line, what is right and what is wrong. And if you have common sense and you're able to think about yourself and other people at the same time, then it will be much easier and much peaceful, I guess. Because what is basically violence? Because there is this belief. Since Romania is so close, I will ask my friend to confirm if that's the same case there. Here, a lot of the boys are taught from very young age that the women are there to help them, to serve them, to be less than them, and that's just wrong. That's no common sense there at all. You know, you're equal. We are all kind of equal. You cannot say somebody is more equal and somebody is less equal. That's rubbish. So education
I
and
have
common sense.
one question. Our dearest friend, Mr. Predrag from Yugoslavia, I have one question. As a general point of view, as a lady, I don't have I don't have courage to go out at night in Bangladesh, okay? Because here rape is happening every day. Here murder is happening every day after rape, okay? Girls have been killed after rape. Even childs have been killed after rape. So child abuse is there, rape is there, workplace harassment is there in Bangladesh. I want, and 71% ladies, those are working ladies, they don't share workplace abusement. So what is the scenario in your area, in Yugoslavia? Can we please listen from your point?
I guess same thing happens, but there is something I would call shame, because when it happens, people are too ashamed to talk about that. Because I had a friend here, unfortunately, who had a rape situation, and she was the victim there, and she suffered for like 5 years, and it took her 5 years to finally talk about that, to speak
Oh
up.
my goodness.
And that was the issue, you know, just don't hold it up. You need to talk about that. It is a terrible thing that is happening. It is not okay, and you need to talk about that. I'm not trying to, maybe that kind of sounds, I'm not trying to put the blame on her for not talking or anything, but it would help her and it would help a lot of other women out there to speak up. And I would also go back, we need to educate the men. The men are also the problem, because there is
Right.
no way in hell that a woman is asking for it. She's not, never. So educate the men.
Okay. So what is the proper way to deal with this? What do you think, Predrag? What is the right initiative to be taken? What is our role as a general civil society? What is our role for men? What is our role for women? How we can solve these abusive situation? How we can deal with workplace harassment? What do you think?
Workplace harassment is another issue completely. That's also a problem on its own. But if we are going to do something or anything, then one of the first steps is let's talk about that. I have
Okay.
friends. I had friends before tell me uh, they share their personal stories, and like if their girlfriend did that or did this, he would slap her because he thought that was okay. And after we talked about it, he finally gained reason that's not okay. You don't have the right to attack anyone in any way. If you cannot be with her, then leave. That's all you can do. So the conversation about that, the education, let me educate you. If you think it's okay to hit, if you think it's okay to be violent, let's talk about that. And usually the ones that are most violent, they have the most traumas. So I think
Right.
that in our world, wherever we are, it's worldwide. We need more therapists and psychologists. Somebody needs
Right.
to heal them.
Right, counseling, right? Because
Yes, counseling. Yes,
victims are mentally traumatized after they are abused, after they are harassed, and after they are victimized. So mental
yes, that.
counseling can help them.
Yes, they can help the victims, but also I think it's safe to say that mandatory counseling should be something that exists, because there is no sane people, there is no sane man alive in this world who is normal in the head, who would go and attack or rape or do whatever of the terrible things. He also has inner trauma, inner pain, something that's causing him to be that violent. So let's make it mandatory. So go take counseling, heal the traumas you have inside before they become a problem to you and to people around you.
So from your point, what do you think we can, if we can work together, like as you can see on this global platform, we have European community from Yugoslavia, from Romania, and we have Asian community from India and Dhaka, Bangladesh. So if we all can, even our mostly of our friends are also from different countries, like Muslim countries, like
Yeah.
different part of African countries. So if we can work together as a combined force, as one voice, as a special strength, do you think we can address this sort of issue and solve problems? Do you think, Mr. Frederick?
Yes, the talking and the connection people share, it's changing people. So talking about that is the first step. It's always the first step. Let's just talk about that, and it will spread.
Okay.
Kindness spreads like wildfire. You cannot stop it. So let's just talk about and spread our kindness.
Okay. So right at this moment, I will connect our dearest friend and colleague, Mr. Sorin, from another European country, Romania, Valex Association. He is representing on this global show. I want to know what is about the scenario that our friend Frederick has already shared. You can see. And what is your scenario in Romania? How women are dealing this sort of abusive issue? How we can help them? How we can merge and build together as one force? Can you please tell us? Sorry,
Yes,
from
of course. I salute my neighbor from Serbia,
Hello?
and I thank him to about the explanation. The problem are similar here in Romania, of course, and in Europe, because it's not a singular problem. The problem of harassment, we have discussed it to our NGO also around 2 years ago, before to start this COVID problem, with a feminist organization. We had 5 seminars about women problems, integration, harassment, bullying, and so on. So we learned some new points of view from them, because women see different than men the problems, and we have learned how to deal more with this problem, to integrate and to understand them better,
Okay.
because most of times we are in rush to understand, and we consider that it's a male society,
Right.
and the women are must to be domestic. But we are fighting to this with this problem, and we want to reach a level of equality, because in my point of view, the women are stronger and more qualified than the men, because they are wives, they are sisters, they are workers, right? They are housekeepers, they are accountants. They can do a lot of things that they cannot do it usually.
Okay.
So we need to appreciate them more, and to help them to confront with this problem, to help them
Okay.
to express their feelings, not to be shamed when they are attacked or assaulted or harassed, because embarrassment is a big problem, and
Right.
most of them, because of this harassment and embarrassment, they commit suicide also.
Right.
Yes, they are afraid to tell to their families about this problem, to their husbands, to their families, and become um, they become close. They close inside of them, and it's difficult to help them if they become inside. They inside their feelings. They take inside the feelings. it's a taking time problem with psychologists, with doctors to manage this problem.
Okay.
Even in Europe, maybe it's not so big this problem with harassment in the street,
Mhm.
but in domestic problems, of course, it's the violence. We have
Okay.
to our NGO, the president of our NGO is also a lawyer, and he represents for free in court this case of domestic violence.
Okay.
One of the biggest project of us is to build a shelter for the victim of domestic violence,
Okay.
but this needs big investment. So we make appeal to sponsors and donors to help us to build a shelter like this, because we can attract here by European funds, but it's difficult in this taking time. Bureaucracy is also big in many cases. My
Okay.
Serbian friend, I guess, knows about this bureaucracy in Eastern Europe.
Yes, of course.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now I would like to connect our dearest learned advocate, Mr. Ronit Shah, who deals mostly with this sort of issue of abusement, harassment, and this sort of human rights violation issue. He has got real experience in it in terms of law background. So I would request our dearest learned advocate Ronit Shah to unmute his microphone and please share your experience, dearest learned Mr. Ronit Shah, that how we can really solve the issue and how we can all work together, march together, and build our awareness, our rights of human all kind of rights. That means as a human the general rights and lawfully what the right I have. I want to know in clear format from you, advocate Ronit Shah.
Thank you very much. What I need to speak out human right, right?
What is our steps for solution, how we can merge and address these sort of issues, human rights where is violated in every country like Yugoslavia, Romania, Dhaka and India. In every country it can happen, right? So together how we can deal with this sort of issue, how we can build our community, how we can help our victim. And as Mr. Frederick
Okay.
has shared that education is the number one point, and our Sorin has told us that we need to support our victim to give them shelter. In law background, how you can please help in law background
Okay.
and what the awareness, what initiatives we need to take, please tell.
Victim are there because of us. First of all, we have to educate our children, and especially while we are, as per the sir said that educate the man. That is a big thing. Small word, small line, but big thing. Thank you very much for this line, sir. I will mention somewhere in my article this thing.
Salute to our friend
Frederick, sir.
from Serbia, Predrag, for pointing out this very important subject with us. Please tell, Advocate
So,
Tony.
so, so when I generally said in our lectures that martial art and karate is the basic things for the girls.
Okay.
And second thing, we have to told our girls, if something is wrong with you, tell us to us. Before that, shoot them or kill them. We are here sitting to fight your case. Your father is here sitting to fight your case for you, but don't let it go. This is the clearest mind. I sell it to the laws of Saudi Arabia. No one has a right or think about to do something wrong to the girls, to the female categories or any kinds of this type of activity because of laws. But where we are living in India, or you are at Bangladesh, that is not possible because the population is so much are there. So the generally, if you file the case, the 20 years, 10 years after your death, the case is running. Still, you are not getting the service. This is the same reality of our laws. But what we need to do is first educate our children with the spiritually. If you have, I always mention repetitively this thing because of I know that I've experienced what the spiritual work. If our dharma and spiritual things is together with the science, then and then you are able to change the mindset, and you can't do anything without mindset. Your eyes should be on the right direction while you live like that. Tell me one example. If I am thinking about wrong anything at anywhere, that type of life we have to live in our, not in only the works, in our thinking. We don't need a single right to bad or a negative to the others. This is very much clear mindset to teach in everyone or every youth. So first thing
Okay.
is education, not on the degrees, but in the spiritual things. No one, no, and one example is that in the world, most of the problem creating by the educated people. Bomb is creating by the educated people, not our vadil. We can say a karta or our father or mother. They are not joining that type of disaster of the world. So, what is the missing in that? The one is only that God and the spiritual things. In the Indian culture, lots of the people in the world they are come here in Vrindavan, they come here in Mathura, and living in the Indian culture is the very influence in the world from the many years.
Okay.
India is a sone ki chidiya at once. But the main thing is mindset. Everything comes from your thinking after you are reflecting or after you are actioning. So we have to strong mindset to our male or our baby boy. So what is the right and what is the true, not the wrong. What is the right and what is the true? We have to understand these silly things because every true is right, but every right thing is not true. So for the especially girls, we have to create that type of society in अराउंडिंग us. मैं हिंदी में बोलना चाहूंगा एक लाइन. आप अपना काम करो, मैं अपना काम करता हूँ. Do your work, I will do my work surrounding you. Because of these silly things, we are come together. We are not.
Right.
I'm not able to doing a work in Romania or Bangladesh. I'm doing I can work in the Gujarat only. So we have to take our responsibility first. As I am doing, I'm always educating that people. I many of the students, I specially recommended that you have to go and learn the karate. You don't need to getting a gold medal in martial art. You are just learn that type of that level of martial art and karate while you are protecting yourself. If you learn this yourself. So the second thing is that every government should be taken and thinking about in this direction. No one right to harass anyone, not in a boy or not in a girl. We don't need to uh, explain or dividing this category. But when you are thinking that you what is your work and what is your aim, what god, why god you are sending on the earth, that only you understand. So especially in the sexual harassment in the workplace, that is the big problem in the world. But
Right, right.
when you are educate your people with the right direction, with the right spirituality, with the right spiritual things, in the our dharma and our spiritual books. In everywhere has their own culture and civilization, and all the gods and all the people are very good. Just in the Western culture or in Indian culture, everyone is a great. But what we are doing, we are not follow. That is the main problem. So I recommended repetitively. You have to getting the spiritual things in your mind, in your children. Do your goal to educate a martial art and karate. That's it.
Okay. So you have pointed out self-defense and education, both, Mr. Ronitso, right? And
Yes.
spiritual
Yes.
and some sort of religious thing. And education, of course, mindset thinking and right and truth. These things you have shared. And population is a crisis. So now we'll really ask for the solution part. I want to know that how together, right, from every countries, how we can take the part, how we can join the voice, how we can join the force to deal with this situation. I want to ask my dearest friend, Mr. Predrag from Serbia, how we can work together. What is our strategy to work together? What do you think, Predrag from Serbia?
Well, when great minds comes together, great things happen. So, in a way, it already started with these shows that you have. So it just needs to become bigger. Let's invite more people. Let's talk to more countries, to more people. Let's open them up.
Okay.
Togetherness would be the solution, I guess.
Okay. Okay. So should we all join as a partner, or what sort of formalities to be there? How we can march together? What do you think, Frederick?
Merge.
March.
Well, we already are in all of that together because these things are happening all over the world. So that is something that is supposed to bring us closer and to make us more open to each other, because it's one of the things that is very important is knowing that you are not alone. And a lot
Okay.
of people get depressed, do a lot of bad things to themselves because they think there is no one else out there who cares or who is willing to help. So talking about that and spreading the word is one of the first steps. And more of this we don't have to sit in the same room. This what we are doing right now is perfectly fine as well, because I have
Okay.
three of the wonderful persons next to me talking. We are still talking, doesn't matter that you're on the other side of the world. We are still here together. We are talking about important things, and I'd say that is the first step, the start of everything, and it just needs to spread. We need more people, because it's not hard to find like-minded people. Somebody just needs to start talking first. That's all.
Okay, I want to share my real experience, Frederick. After we are hosting this live show on our mostly Facebook group, on our YouTube channel, people are coming together from Syria, from Mishor. People, women are contacting me that they need job, they need this sort of help. So can you see the changes? I don't know even them, but they are asking help from me, from
Yeah,
Syria, from me.
because they can see they are no longer alone. There is somebody who is talking about them, even indirectly. And if this thing keeps happening, if these conversations, these live shows keep happening, eventually there will be a lot of people everywhere. And you might, I am for example, now I am in Serbia, and somebody from Serbia is contacting you asking for help. You know
Right,
that I'm here. You can tell me about that. If I can help, I will. And
right, right.
that same thing can start happening all around.
Right. Frederick, I want to mention one thing. On this very show, we have connected people from different countries' ministry, editor-chief, they are so learned, and people from like, as you can say, United Nations people, and law background people, teacher, professor, and Christian leader, all of them are connecting together, and I am really feeling amazed that how it is happening, Frederick. I have no idea. From African leader, from diplomat. As Sorin, you can see that we were talking to Italy and we were talking to Albania today, Frederick.
Yeah.
So all together unified, and they are sharing their points that they can come forward, they can solve this issue. They were so powerful. I am really feeling amazing. Alhamdulillah, I am really very much grateful to my almighty, my dearest friends. All of you are here, so I am very much thankful to you. So Sorin, as
Yeah.
our Frederick has shared that online global platform can
Sure.
really
Sure.
work as helping hand.
We
Yeah, tell
invite
me please.
all from all over the world. We are open to new partnerships. We are open to sponsors and, and donors to help us, to join us, to help others to be united with one voice. But of course, we need support from others to be connected sometimes.
Okay, so now I will ask one question on youth development from
Yes.
Frederick, our friend from Serbia. What is the youth development projects or initiatives in your country, Serbia?
Can you please repeat what development?
Youth development, young people, society, how we can initiate our projects, and what is the scenario in Serbia?
Well, here, not a lot of people are technology savvy, let's say the least. It needs to be easily accessible for them. They need to have ease of access. And as when it comes for the victims or anybody who has anything bad happening to them, what is important to them is that they feel safe. So they need to be anonymous as well. And
Okay.
I wouldn't be so strict on that. Not everybody have to share the name, especially if they don't feel safe enough. That's fine. At least you're talking about it. You don't have to say your name. So there should be some pointers about that, I guess, but it should be much more easily accessible. The Facebook is one of the great things that everybody have right now, so that's a great start. But let's not stop there. No, more and more young people are using Instagram or TikTok or Snapchat, and we can use other platforms as well.
Okay, so I want to know one thing, that from Serbia, do we have any social helping support? Do we have any social leader or social organization who is coming forward to helping these youth channel, youth development work, and these victims shelter? Do you have any social organization on platform initiatives where we can work together? Can you suggest us, please?
Yes, I know about a few of organizations. Of course, I cannot speak in their name. I'm not part of them.
No problem. Okay.
But I do know they exist. We had like one of the really good things is that one of the organizations built like 3 shelters for women that suffer domestic violence, and there they keep building more, and they helped a lot of people. So yeah, those things do exist, definitely.
Okay, so they are working also. So
Yes.
from this global platform, I want to really request you that we want to act as a global unity, as a global community. We want to act. So please share this message to them and share our regards to them. We are very much happy that they are working, and now we also want to be contacted as an unified world force. Right at this moment, I will just connect my learned leader, Mr. Ronit Shah, the very learned advocate from India, Gujarat, so that how we can merge this platform, how we can solve together. As Mr. Pradrak has shared, the technology can be helpful. So what is your point of view? Because you are working with your youth development, young people society, you are working on it. So can you please guide us, share your experience, and please help us how we can do more on that?
Yes, definitely. Social media is so strong to reach at anywhere. Because of this, we are here today, and we are
Yeah,
discussing in different topic. But what we need to do in the youth development, we have to open a one centrally academy to given to doing such a different activities regardingly. While I'm talking about Kutch, what is the need specially? What is the basic need and what is the current situation is prevailing in the local area? So we have to open one academy and different activities at there, like in the while we are internationally, you can see that my communication skill in English is not well and good like you all, because of I'm not facing that atmosphere surrounding me. I generally suggested or speak in Gujarati, Kutchi or Hindi. Hindi is our national language. So in the Kutch, the atmosphere is not like that. So the communication skill is not well and good like you. Still, so what we need to do is, while you are connecting with the global people globally, you need to understand that the little things. The English is not a measurement of talent, but it's just a language. But we have to learn, because of we are not only for the India. We have to do some of the things for globally. So this type of activity, like communication and personality skills, personality development, in the all the areas, because of this type of atmosphere, we have to create atmosphere. Second thing is the basic. I repeat this thing once again because I loved this and I want to do these things, karate and martial art for the girls. Third things I want to share with the all the parents who is listening me: don't spending on the money on the marriage of girls, spending on the money for the education of the girls.
right.
This is this is the, uh, this is very much understanding these things, because of 10 lakh 5 lakhs we are spending on the marriage, but we are not spending a 1 lakh for the education. And I am prouding that the largest pilot girls is in the India. The girls is the biggest pilot of the world. So everyone should be learn this thing.
Okay, I want to add our one point, Mr. Pradrak. As in India, as in Bangladesh, ladies are treating as liability to their parental family. Is this happening also in your Serbia, Pradrak? Ladies are treating as liability.
Yes, but not as much.
Okay.
Not as much. At least from what I could see and my experience. I'm not trying to talk bad about your countries. Here it's much different, but still, the children from very young age are learn that they need to learn that girls are less important always,
Why?
and
Why?
because man is the man of the house. He is everything. That's the general situation here, at least. So they can treat women with respect, but that is always like there is something underneath that. It's always that respect is not really honest mostly. And I had a colleague of mine. We did the same thing. Well, when we were working as a system administrators, we were fixing websites, and she got one customer who is always yelling at her and never did what she asked him to do, and it always took her like 2 hours to be able to help him, while at the same time the same customer was talking fine with me. Like whatever I asked him, he listened immediately. The point is, he thought that because she is a woman, she knows less.
Oh.
And that's the issue. You cannot bring up your children, making them believe that girls are less important than boys. One of the things that's the first thing that you learn here is, if a man talks, a lady has to listen. No, just don't do that. That's wrong. And that's the issue mostly. It's too man oriented. Everything is led by men, and we have women that works. We have women that go to college. They go to school. They have great education. Most of the time, they have even better education than the men, but they have much more issues with gaining work or employment just because they're women, and because they think that if you're women, even if you have PhD, you don't know as much as a man does. And that is what I said at the start. Education, that's very important. Our friend here, Ronit Shah, he corrected me. Not just education, like to get employment, but general education, common sense and empathy. We like that a lot. We need empathy. We need common sense. Nobody is less important than you. We are all equal.
Okay. Okay, so from our dearest Sorin from Romania, I want to know, is your country also treating women as liability and less important, as our dearest friend Frederick shared from Serbia? Is the situation same in Romania, Sorin?
From my point of view, I don't. I guess not. As I know, they are different culture. Maybe in other countries like India or Pakistan or some countries with Muslim population, maybe the culture is different and the women are some under pressure or without less freedom. But in European, as I know, because I have traveled a while, I didn't notice that to be that kind of problems so major like in other countries. At least I hope it's not so big phenomenon in my country, as said my colleague Predrag.
Okay.
In this part of the world, in European. Basically, in Europeans, they are granted the freedom and the possibility to work in security in most cases. But of course, not any society is not perfect. Of course, there can be cases with assault, with harassments, but perhaps less into the street, but more into domestic, at home, when they are only face to face.
Okay, so right at this moment, we have discussed some very important issue from different countries altogether, but we will end very shortly because, as you can see, we have shortage of time and we have some other works also. So I would request you, each of you, to deliver the last message to our international community, to our international leaders and intellectuals, to say few words to the world. I will first request our Frederick from Serbia. Can you please finish your just final message to the world? Frederick from Serbia.
There is no shame in feeling emotions. One of the first things people learn as boys, it is a shame to cry. You're not allowed to cry. You're not allowed to show your anger. You're not allowed anything. You need to be calm. No, just feel your emotions and have more empathy. Empathy is very important.
Okay. So now I am connecting our dearest advocate Ronit Shah to say the last final message to the world. What do you like to say, Ronit Shah, advocate from India?
While I'm starting my speech, I generally say that once again, spiritual things, your greatest personality of the world, you have to read. And especially, I'm talking about the girls, Jijabai, the mother of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, and Rani Lakshmi Bai. We have to read, we have to follow their spiritual, their educator, their success life, their problems and how their solution, all the things we can getting from that life, so we have to learn. And last but not the least, I would like to sing one poem of Banana Pratap in Gujarati. After that I'm finishing my speech. Listen. લડે હલ્દી મેદાન માથે યવનોની ફોજ માથે વરવાલને હાને સાહી મુગલોની ફોજ માથે એકલો ત્રાટક્યો રાણો અટક્યો એકતા વિના કોકુના મંડાણ માને તોય લડે નારમાં કે મહાદેવ નામ ધરી મહાદેવ નામ ધરી મહાદેવ નામ ધરી. જય માતાજી, જય હિન્દ.
So please tell us what is the summary you have spoken in your language. Please tell us in English. We need to understand also.
Sure. Maharana Pratap, I always naman because of that person, that life, their sacrifice for the nation, for the state. They are doing everything. And once the Birla sir, you know about the Birla, you know about the Birla, all the world, a billionaire of the world. They said that there is a temple in the India because of just two person, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and Veer Shiromani Maharana Pratap.
Okay. Okay.
They're fighting 2 lakh against 20,000 only, and they said
Okay.
that I never give up. And so one person can do the change. One person can fight against the whole system.
Right.
We we have to give us such a respect to the women's. They are leaving all the things behind you and getting a marriage. In fact, her name has to change after getting a marriage. So we have to given us such a respect to the girls as I am giving always. So first you have to educate your children this sanskar, this spiritual, to respect everybody, especially to the women's. And Maharana Pratap and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj learn these things very much clearly. So I'm big salute to the Veer Shiromani Maharana Pratap and Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Jai Hind. Jai Jai Garvi Gujarat.
Namaste.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, our dearest advocate from India, Mr. Ronit Shah. So now I'd like to connect my dearest colleague, Mr. Sorin from Romania, from Alex, from Valex Association, from the NGO. What is your last message to the world?
As I said, we used to say in our post, together we are stronger. So my message to the world is unite, join us, be united. 4 words: join us, be united. That's my message.
Okay.
And express yourself.
Okay.
Expose the unfair situation. Join us. Help us to help
Okay.
you.
Don't
Thank
bear
you
anything.
so much. Yes. So,
And one line want
Advocate
to say,
Ronit,
just a minute.
please tell us.
Ma'am, thank you very much for this amazing opportunity. Also, thanks to you because before one day I don't know who you are, and still we are given us such a beautiful chance to speak in front of you all. So thank you very much for this amazing opportunity, and I am very thankful and I am very feeling proud if I am joining your nations, a member of your trust. So I'm thank you very
Inshallah.
much to you. Thank you very
Yes.
much to you, and thank you very much to Sorin sir and Pedrak sir to
Yeah.
listen carefully to me. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, we are all delighted together on this global platform, and I want to share our one issue that people are already talking to us from different countries. People are sharing their views, and right at this moment, while I was here on the live show, one of our diplomats is sending our wishes, our great future, so that we can help our great community, our international community together. So as you can see, we have ministry kind of people from different countries, as you have all seen together. We have learned advocate with us, we have NGO people, we have great learned teacher and technological guru, Mr. Frederick from Serbia. So we are very much hopeful that together we can win, inshallah. We can create great impact, inshallah. So I will be requesting all of you, my dearest friend, colleague, mates, and learned personalities, please be united together. We will create a positive change in this world, inshallah. I'm very much hopeful for your
Yes,
presence. I'm very much
I
delighted.
give my hand to these two gentlemen to build a bridge through the nations, and to others to see who will see us, and let's come together to be more and stronger.
Yes, I
Inshallah.
want to share
I
one thing.
invite them, both of you, to discuss later about cooperation and collaboration.
Of
Yes,
course.
please tell us. Advocate
Uh,
Ronit.
One thing is what one man can do. Before 6 months, our honorable Prime Minister, where I belongs to Gujarat, our Prime Minister is also from the Gujarat, Mr. Narendra Bhai Modi, who
Right.
delivered the 94 countries to the vaccine, and Bangladesh is one of the 2 lakh dose getting from the India, and 94 country getting the vaccine from the India. So at that level, we also do the something. If Narendra Bhai Modi is doing such a great work for the world, so we are also some of the strength to do to serve to the society. So thankful lesson for Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Bhai Modi, and you have also such a big Prime Minister or political leaders who is doing such a great work for the society and for the people. So I especially thanks here from this seminar. Thank you very much to our Honorable Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Bhai Modi, and our Home Minister of India, Amit Bhai Shah. Thank you very much. I'm learned from amazing things from these two personalities. So thank you very much.
Okay, thanks a lot. So here we are signing out together. I was connected from Dhaka, Bangladesh, Monira Sultana Poppy, myself, feeling great. This is our honor and this is our lifetime achievement to have all of our international personalities on a same page, on a same global platform. Thanking you, and I would like to welcome on another show, inshallah, which will be notified to you
Namaste.
very soon. Okay.
Namaste.
Thanks.
Namaste is the, yeah, Namaste is the culture of India.
Okay. Take care.
Will be my
Stay
pleasure.
tuned.
Will be my pleasure to visit India after all these problems will be finished.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, sure. Welcome.
Dearest friend Frederick from Serbia, dearest friend Sorin from Romania, and dearest our learned advocate from Ronit Shah from India. I am really very much happy, and I'm concluding this session right here. So stay blessed, stay tuned, and please take very good care of yourself. Assalamu
Ma'am,
Thank you
alaikum
for
from
inviting me.
Dhaka.
Thank you.
Good night to everybody.
tagging some of the picture of this seminar on FB also, so we can share.
Okay.